the big thing to me, the big unknown in this election is how will blacks and Hispanics vote. There was a CNN poll in June that showed approval rating, or actually maybe it was a poll about who they vote for. It was for among blacks. It was 74 to 21 Biden. That by itself should have been scary to the Democrats because normally they get 90 to 95%.
Yeah.
And so after Kamala Harris was announced as a running mate, it fell to 64 to 31. And I just have a feeling we're seeing a shift that maybe it's like like when a tsunami's out at sea, you can't see it till it gets to the shore. And you've got people like Candace Owens and Kanye West and these two ladies. I've never really listened to them much, but I see them on Instagram all the time, Diamond and Silk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That are out there, black voices who are saying, we don't have to stay on this, mental plantation. That's what Kanye West called it, that they put us on. And you had mentioned a couple of podcasts ago about Leo Terrell, and he has just come out in the last couple of days and announced that he is going to vote for Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and absolutely. That is astounding to me because, here's a guy that was totally on the other side. And I mean, even though I didn't agree with him, he was so fun to listen to, man. He was entertaining. And now he's on our side, at least for now anyway. So...
Well, I think Leo makes some really good points, and I think that this is the thing that the Democrats are not seeing with all of this chaos, and I understand that they're not even addressing the fact of the violence going on in the cities all across America. They're not talking about that at all. The people who are living in danger and defunding the police and all this, they're not even pretending like it's not even there. And so Leo is saying, look, we need the police. If they're not going to protect us in the inner cities, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to get so much worse. And he said, black people know that. They want the police. They welcome the police. Right. And if you look at the statistics, it's very rare that a white officer shoots an unarmed black man or black woman. It really is very rare if you look at the stats. So Leo is saying, I can't go into this. I can't buy into any of this. And I can't buy into what they're selling. And I think that's what turned him around. And I think that's what's going to turn other people around. Right. And it's the safety of their communities. When you look, how many nights has it been in Portland that they're rioting? In Portland, 60, 70? I don't even know.
It's up into the 90s now.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane. And then, of course, they don't want any help, and they don't want any, they think it's just going to be this beautiful summer. Well, their beautiful summer has destroyed their cities. And these people live it. The Democrats that are on the television and in that bubble, they don't live there. Michelle Obama lives in Martha's Vineyard. Does she worry about what's going on in Baltimore or Detroit or St. Louis or Portland? No. Or Chicago? No, she doesn't care because she lives in her $11 million mansion.
Right.
So everything that comes out of her mouth is lip service. And that's like the rest of them. They don't understand what's going on in the real world, affecting all of us. They're just trying to manipulate us all and think we're all stupid. And at least half of America will vote for them and they'll get back into power again. That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, I haven't watched every minute of the 3 nights so far, but there has not been one mention of any of the rioters or protesters. But I guarantee you there will be next week. I hope Trump pulls out video of somebody driving through Minneapolis and what it looks like now. I hope they show videos of what's going on in Portland. And if they do that, then I think people are going to now, people that may not follow politics every day may not necessarily know about this because the media is not is ignoring it. They're not going to be able to hide under a rock forever, though, because with social media, people can see it and read about it. But yeah, you're right. It's just that they can't talk about it because it doesn't.
No, they're letting it happen.
Yeah.
And they're the ones responsible for not stopping any of this. Look at New York City. I heard this morning, I think it was, that they're saying New York will never recover. And it's going to be years down the line before it ever gets back to what it was in 2019. Now, how sad is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that is due to your Cuomos and your de Blasios and your, whatever I can't remember the guy's name that's the congressman there. But I mean, they're just really destroyed an incredible city that was doing so well, and Rudy Giuliani just made it an absolute sterling city.
Right.
And now they've destroyed it within months. I mean, this is so sad. You can expect. That's what you can expect if Joe Biden, if they elect him, because that's all they do.
Yep. Was it the other day I heard something on the radio, it might have been Rush Show again, that they, Broadway is shut down. A lot of those restaurants within, walking distance of Broadway are shutting down because there's no, that was a lot of their business. People would come there before or after the show.
Oh, yeah, right, right. Yeah,
So,
Patsy's. That was the guy that he was on, I think he was either on Rush's show or he was on one of those shows, and he's the owner of Patsy's that's just, been there 100 years, and he may have to close his doors forever because there's no theater traffic, there's no tourists, Nobody's going there if you have to quarantine for 14 days.
right.
So, you're looking at that. I lived in New York in the 70s. I mean, that's where I started my modeling career. And believe me, it was literally like it is now. You couldn't walk out on the street without looking over your shoulder. People were mugged. You couldn't go through Central Park. There was homeless. There was trash. There was 42nd Street, that's now theaters and Disney and all that. In the 70s when I was there, it was just, X-rated, shows and strippers and drug girls standing out on the corner. I mean, it was horrible. And not having any money, I'd have to take the subways and take my life in my own hands, I mean, it was awful. And to see that happen to it again, when it doesn't have to, when they brought this on and did it to themselves, I mean, I don't know.
Sounds like the city's return to what Simon and Garfunkel described in The Boxer from and that was in the 1960s. So it's like, well, I gotta get you to tell this story because you had texted me about this yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to see it. Tell us about this mermaid.
I was watching Tucker Carlson's show, and he was saying these are the people that they don't want you to see. That's the Democrat convention. They're hoping you don't see these people, right? I could not believe this, but he showed a film clip of this person is a transgender, Philippine, binary person who answers to they and we and is a trans mermaid.
You should know that J-Mai's preferred pronouns are they, them. According to their biography at Wake Forest University, J-Mai is, quote, a black Vietnamese transgender, non-binary, gender-transcendent mermaid queen king currently living out their ever-evolving truths in Winston-Salem, end quote. Got it?
And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And this person was talking about, we have to get rid of Donald Trump and Joe Biden is going to save the world and all this. And I'm going, Okay, and this from a mermaid. Great. I'm just, wow. The Democrats are really, they're really doing well. Holy moly.
When you texted me that, the first thought I had was from the movie Splash and Eugene Levy spraying water on Daryl Hannah going, "Behold the mermaid!"
Exactly. I know. I thought I heard it wrong. It's like, okay, I got past the transgender binary, whatever, me, not me, but they, them, those, whatever you want to be called. But when it got to a mermaid, what? Oh, they've lost their mind. I mean, this is their constituency. Well, oh boy. Okay.
Well, okay, so far we've talked about aliens and mermaids. What's next for the Democrats? I'm guessing vampires, but they would have to give their speeches at night, I presume.
I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they could go to Collinwood and check in with Barnabas Collins and see if he's available to give a speech. But
wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. I mean, that's that one woman that ran for. Oh my gosh, Marianne Williamson. She even lasted longer than Kamala Harris.
That is true. That is true.
She did. She was lasted much longer. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And she actually made more sense than some of the other candidates.
Yeah. But how sad is that?
But it was funny. After that, she said later, I never realized the liberal Democrats were this mean and petty. I'm like, where have you been, girl?
Yeah, where have you been?
So, I read something the other day. Where was it? Was it on Breitbart or somewhere I saw where she's thinking about forming a third party? So. Okay,
well, the mermaid can join.
Yeah. That's right, the mermaid and the vampires and the aliens.
Yep, they can all join.
Werewolves, they had werewolves in Dark Shadows as well, so you just never know.
I don't know.
Well, getting on, we talked so much serious stuff. Another little humorous topic that I wrote an article on that I thought was, although I tried to, it was satirical, with the COVID stuff going on, there's just going to be, the radio's just going to have to stop playing certain oldies music because it gives people the wrong signal to do things that, you shouldn't be doing during the age of the coronavirus. The first one up, unfortunately the Beatles had a lot of songs. You're just going to have to go, Morgan. I know that at this, I Want to Hold Your Hand, that's out. Out.
Nope.
Germs Can Be Spread That Way, and I Love Her, that's out. All My Loving, Do You Want to Know a Secret? I mean, if you whisper in somebody's ear, you're obviously within 6 feet of them.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Elvis, I Want You, I Need You, I Love You.
Oh, there's no way. No way.
Surrender, Little Sister, Teddy Bear.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Could go on and on. Midnight at the Oasis. I'm still trying to figure out that song, but I'm pretty sure that one would be out too. I don't think we'll be slipping off to a sand dune real soon and kicking up a little dust that Maria Moldhair was telling us.
Nope.
Let's see, what else do we have? Captain and Tennille. Oh, that's sad. Most of their songs would have to go.
Oh, that's right. Muskrat Love. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. No, can't do it. No more.
And they whirl and they twirl and they tango. That's that. Tango is out in this age.
That's right.
The Way I Want to Touch You, Do That to Me One More Time. Just, you think about it. They got away with a lot of stuff in the 70s because they were married. It's like.
Well, you could actually hold hands and hug somebody.
Yeah.
Or, oh my gosh, can't do that anymore. There's no way.
Beach
Put
Boys.
Your head on my shoulder, Paul Anka. There's no way.
That's right. He did do a song called "Kissing on the Phone," so that would be allowed because you're on the phone.
Yeah, there you go. That's COVID safe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No dancing. No Watusi, Mashed Potato Time, Locomotion. Whether it's Little Evil or Grand Funk Railroad. No disco. No YMCA, which that would be fine with me because I despise that song. But anyway, no more dance.
Yeah, you even said in your article, you said you can't even sing anymore.
Yes,
So you're
that's
not
right.
even able to sing because, heaven forbid, you might spit on somebody.
I know, no singing at church. So Sing a Song by Earth, Wind and Fire, that's out. Sing by the Carpenters.
Nope, can't do it.
Even going back to the big band era, Sing, Sing, Sing by Benny Goodman. I'd like to teach the world to sing. Oh, that lovely little commercial from the 70s. And the Singing Nun, if she's still alive, unfortunately, none of her songs would make it on the list. And of course, any kind of kissing is out. Kiss on My List, Hall & Oates, Kiss and Say Goodbye, the Manhattans.
Well, they've already said there's no way you can do that. I mean, I think the CDC put out that even if you're having an intimate relationship with your partner, you have to wear a mask. So there's no kissing.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we'll look back on this. We'll look back on this in 20 years and go, hey, do you remember when you could get close to somebody and actually touch them?
That's right. Touch Me in the Morning, Diana Ross. That is out.
Oh, yeah. That's over.
Oh Boy by Buddy Holly. Now, a lot of people aren't going to be familiar with that song, but the lyrics are all of my love, all of my kisses. You don't know what you've been missing. Oh, boy.
Oh,
that
boy.
one's gone.
Yeah, that's going to actually be true. You don't know what you've been missing because nobody will be able to remember it.
Last Kiss. Poor guy. His girl's dying from a car accident, and he can't even kiss her goodbye. As time goes by, a kiss is still a kiss. Jimmy Durante.
Yep.
There are some songs that can still be played. Breakup songs, songs about leaving someone. Leaving on a jet plane would probably be okay. Of course, no, it wouldn't be okay because that part of the lyric said, "One last time, let me kiss you." So that one's out.
That one's out. Yep, gotta go.
By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Glenn Campbell. That one's okay. Social distancing check, no holding check, no hugging check, no kissing check. That one's okay to play. Since I Don't Have You by the Skyliners. I put this next song in my article just as a joke, but I've Never Been to Me by Charlene. Do you have any idea what that song is about? It's a nice little song, good vocals, but it's like...
I don't know unless she's just... I don't know. You're right. I don't know.
So, and one of the first records my sister had, I put this on the list, was Cried Like a Baby by Bobby Sherman. So he was crying in the darkness of his room, so he's safe from the virus.
Safe from the virus, yep.
Miss You by the Rolling Stones, As Long as You Go Mess and Fool Around Like You Used To, as Mick Jagger would say. And One Less Bell to Answer by the Fifth Dimension. One less egg to fry, one less virus to worry about. So
right, because you can't have anybody in your house.
That's right. So to sum that up, I think we should just modernize the... Oh, no, there was one more. I'll Never Fall in Love Again, Dionne Warwick. And all you need to do is change one word and say, what do you do when you kiss a guy, you get enough germs to catch pneumonia? Just replace corona. So that would work well. And then we probably would want to change the lyrics to End the Year 2525 to include the coronavirus. And I would venture that most people under 50 would not know what the heck I'm talking about. Go look that song up on the internet if you want to hear the most depressing song that was ever written and sung. So
yeah, boy, I mean, doesn't he say in the year 2020 something, if man is still alive?
Yes.
Doesn't he say that?
Yes, if woman can survive.
Yeah, so, boy, he's a little prophetic there.
Yeah, right. So,
wow.
So just everybody out there, be careful when you're listening to the oldies. You don't want the cops knocking on your door and saying, "Why are you playing some ABBA or something?" These are not songs you should be playing. So, of course, now,
we can't encourage this kind of closeness.
So that was our funny corner for this time because I really didn't have any more good Hollywood stuff. I mean, how many times can I talk about Lisa Milano crying her eyes out? I mean, the woman just is a bucket of tears. And Rob Reiner was always out there talking about how Trump is a dictator, but then on the other hand, Trump's not doing enough to solve the coronavirus. So
there was a story recently, a couple days ago, about Rose McGowan. Totally got ignored by the media. Rose McGowan came out against Kamala Harris and said, "How can you, in good faith, run as his running mate in the Me Too movement when he's abused women? How can you do that?
Right.
Nobody covered that. I didn't hear anything except one thing on Fox News. But she sure got coverage before, didn't she?
That is for sure. And right as I speak right now, the top story on Breitbart is the headline, Tara Reade speaks, DNC complicit in gaslighting of survivors. I mean, she is the one that came out and accused Joe Biden of sexual abuse or something, inappropriate touching, I forget exactly what. So it's believe all women except the ones that accuse their candidates of doing something. So
yeah, and isn't it ironic that the very night that Bill Clinton was going to speak at the DNC, that day pictures came out of a young girl on Epstein's plane massaging his shoulders.
Right.
Isn't that interesting? And they went right ahead and put him out there as this, just virtuous person. This is how twisted they are. I mean, if it was a Republican, they would have pulled that out and gone, no, you're not going out there. Nope.
Well, that's par for the course, because didn't the night that he came on and denied his involvement with Monica Lewinsky, didn't he wear the tie that he was supposedly wearing?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he's also only flown on Epstein's plane 4 times. No, 26 and counting.
Wow.
So I mean, really, this is who. You know what? This should be a slam dunk for Donald Trump. There should be no question.
I think it will be, and I think it's just like in 2016 when they tried to get him for being a misogynist, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? Do I need to?" And I forget the exact words, but he told Hillary Clinton, "You really don't want to go there, because I will." So he could do the same thing with Joe Biden. Yeah, that was the other thing. I can't remember which night it was. They had a whole segment about women being abused, and somebody made the comment on the town hall blog. He goes, "But of course that's only for Democrat women. Republican and conservative women are abused too, but they're, they ignore them." And there was I forget, I guess it was Delaware was the last state that was on there that put him over the top for the nomination. They did that symbolically, but the congressman or whoever made that announcement have been accused of hitting and beating his wife. So you can't make this stuff up.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, it's just hypocrisy to the nth level.
I think, everything has its time. We know that. I think we're going through a crisis now. We're wading through to get to the other side. And I think as long as good prevails, as long as we have strong faith, as long as we, like you said, you just sit back and you say, "Lord, lead us through this,"
Right.
I think all the noise that's around, good will prevail. It always does. And even though there's just slush and mud and garbage that we have to get through, we'll get there. And I think that's the way Donald Trump deals with it, because all the garbage that they said about him at the convention and everything he takes every single day, he must just go home at night and say, "Lord, help me out here. Take all this from my shoulders," because I don't know how he does it. I really don't.
He is a one-of-a-kind, not only a person and politician, but I think he has just nerves of steel. I don't think, I know it probably bothers him some, but I think at this point, he just doesn't care anymore. He's going to just put it right back against him, push back against it. And I know there are a lot of Christians that don't like him, but I think for whatever reason, I think he's the person that God has put in charge right now to be head of this country. I'm not so much worried about what happens. I'll be worried if Biden wins. I don't think he's going to. I'm more worried about what happens after President Trump's second term.
Yeah,
who's going to come along after him? Are we going to get a weak-kneed Republican again? I'm really hoping that somebody like the governor from South Dakota will run in 2024. I think she's going to be one of the speakers next week, too.
Yeah, and there's an awful lot of good young people coming up too that are in Congress that are good. They're really good and they're fighters. So we probably will have some good people to come up. But I got to tell you, when the Democrats, that's one of the main reasons that I didn't watch that convention, because every sling and arrow that they say about Trump, you can be assured they're saying it about you.
Yes.
They are. He's taking the incoming, but that's geared at us. That is absolutely you and Trump. You're all that, and that's why I can't even watch it. They're alienating people.
Mm-hmm. And they imply that too. They say all Trump supporters, his base supporters are racist, misogynists, homophobes.
Yep.
Let me tell you something else I did the other night, and because I know we got to wrap this up. But last night I got so angry because they were talking about illegal immigration. Of course, they don't call it illegal immigration. They conflate those two terms too. They played a clip from when Trump was talking about MS-13 when he called them animals, but they didn't say that. They said they just played this clip that Trump hates illegal immigrants. They're animals, and they cut it off right there to make it seem like that Trump called all immigrants animals. And then they showed the picture of the kids in the cages and said that was Trump's doing, when that picture was from long before Trump ever even thought about running for president. It was during Obama's administration. And that's just a out-and-out lie and a distortion. Obama was the one that put kids in cages. Yes, it was continuing some under Trump, but I think he put a stop to it when he found out about it. And so, it's just one lie after another. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that vote Democrat don't have anything to compare it to. They don't do the investigation themselves about what's really happening.
Yeah, you can tell because these guys that go out to the colleges and they'll say something about, somebody said this, and, the kids will say, oh, I would never vote for somebody who said something like that, and then they go, oh, well, did you know that came from Obama, or that came from Kamala Harris? I know what it was. It was the stupid line when she had said, all millennials are stupid. They're just stupid. And this college guy said, would you vote for somebody who called you stupid? And this college guy goes, there's no way I'd vote for somebody like that. There's no way I'd do that. And he said, well, who do you think said it, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? And the guy goes, oh, Trump, of course. And the guy goes, nope, Kamala Harris said it. And this kid's like, what?
Wow.
So they don't even know. Well, and that's the sad thing.
The news people don't even know. I remember one example, been a couple of years now, when they were trying to, somebody on the left or media person was saying, talking about how Donald Trump started the birther movement when Obama was running, and the guy happened to be a conservative, and he corrected. He said, no, that was actually Hillary Clinton in the primary in 2008. And the news person goes, what did you just say? She couldn't believe it, and she tried to cut him off after that. She had no clue that Hillary Clinton originated that. Yeah. And so that's what they tried to do that the other day to Trump. They said, a reporter kept asking him about, was Kamala Harris eligible to run? And Trump dodged the question smartly. He said, well, because I would think that the Democratic Party would have vetted her very thoroughly, so therefore I have nothing to say on the matter. So,
good for him. Good for him. Just throw it back in their face.
Yeah.
Well, I'm up for the Republican convention. I bet you Trump puts on a great show, don't you think?
I think he will, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably be a lot more high-tech, and it'll be a lot more spiffy.
Yep. And it'll be, I'm hoping like Rush does, that it goes live.
Yes. That's true. I think Trump will definitely be live from the Oval Office. That's driving them nuts, too, because they don't think he should be doing that from the White House.
Of course not.
So, we'll have that to look forward to, and then maybe after the Republican convention, we'll reconvene and talk about that as well.
Okay.
It's getting closer and closer. So anyway, this has been the Political Twilight Zone. I'm John Baldwin.
And I'm Morgan Brittany.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. And when you're on our YouTube channel, please subscribe there as well. Thank you.